Hey everyone, this is a serious message. This is as serious a message as I ever give to you guys. Just so you know, if you look in the background, that's not LGBTQ, okay? I don't have anything against people in those communities, except the things that they do, but that's not what that is. So, as I said in my last, please watch my last video. Watch what people are talking about in there. I don't like being political at all, but I like to point out the things that quite obviously are having everything has to do with God. Everything has to do with God. I'm not going to talk about what Hillary Clinton and what Donald Trump is doing. I don't care. Unless it's something substantial that changes the landscape in a good way, or a Christian way, in a bad way. I'll say religious, whatever. But your country, it's North America, but I'm going to say the United States, of course, because we know that the U.S. is the targeted one. Why are they targeted? Because they're the only place on earth that represents freedom, although there's a lot of corruption, but it is. No matter how you look at it, it is. And I still believe it's the beast of the earth, by the way. But there's a lot of, this is where freedom does lie, but it's the people inside of it that are the issue. These are the people. I don't feel sorry for, I have to say, I guess I do, but I also at the same time don't, because it's your fault. You voted for Joe Biden. I have no idea the people who voted for him, how they're tricked. I know in the United States, education, people aren't so educated anymore. That's just the way it is. I've watched videos in my past and watched people walk around in every single city saying, hey, listen, can you name Ukraine? Where's Ukraine? Where's Australia? Where are the countries in Africa? Where is Africa? They can't point it out. They point all the way to Canada. Here's my message. This is about the migrant crisis. Pardon me, I have to take a break in my voice. I'll just take a break. Just give me 1 second. I have no idea, and I'm not calling people to protest, but would I like people to protest? Peaceful protest? I guess my opinion on that would probably be, well, yes, but I have no idea inside of my heart how the conservatives or the right, whatever you want to call them, because there's no real Democrats anymore. Voters, yes, but as far as a party, no. They no longer exist. These people are socialists. They're killers. They're killers. I'll tell you why. It's because of the border. They're allowing a lot of death and destruction. It just boggles my mind how people in the States, especially on the southern border, aren't banding together in large numbers to actually go themselves, walk to the border and shut it down. I don't mean by hundreds, I mean by thousands. What's the public going to do? What's the administration going to do if people just do that type of thing? So this is what they're willing to do to you to get the vote. Why do they want the vote so bad? Look at all the stuff they've done in 4 years. All they've done from day one is destroy. The very first day that Biden took office, he stopped oil and gas exploration. You can argue with me till the sun goes down, whatever. He stopped giving as many permits. We know this Keystone was stopped, and from there it was one disaster after the other. It's just like there's hundreds of things that he did that has destroyed, and the worst of them all is the border. They're just leaving it wide open. I don't care. They can make as many excuses as they want. Mayorkas, all these people. I have no idea. I wonder if sometimes I wonder if things are set up this way. Like, the hero, Greg Abbott, right? At the border. It seems like he's doing something, then it seems like he's not doing something. Was it really genius to send people all over America like that? You may think, hey, that's great because that'll finally get people's attention to do something. But it makes me think, is it possible that that was the plan? That these people are all in the WEF type thing? That's part of the plan, okay? I have no idea why Americans, well, I do actually have an idea. It's because they're all dumped down on the internet, on their phones, on their tablets, playing video games. This is what they want. Think about it. People are saying there's 10 or 12 million. If you ask me from what I've seen on the news since it's begun, from the numbers that I can see pouring in, there's no way that they could count how many people have come through. There's no way. For what they know Godaways, it's like 10 to 12. And I saw another estimate that was like 22 million. I believe the 22 million. I think that's what it's going to come out to. These people are taking over everything. These people are committing crimes. They're committing rapes. They're committing murders. Everything you can think of. Think of the mind. Think of the Bible where it says their consciences will be seared like a hot iron. You have an administration that will not answer any questions. It's no different in Canada. There's a lot of stuff happening here too. It's a lot of gaslighting. You ask a question, it's like you should watch Question Period with Pierre Poilievre and Trudeau. We ask a question, will you answer? They don't answer. It goes on like this for years and months. It's insane. It's no different. They don't answer questions in Congress either. Pardon me. I'm eating and drinking as I'm doing this, so. Think of the mind that you would have to have. First, go down the list of all the politicians, not on the right, on the left, far left. They're socialists. These are the people that J. Edgar Hoover, if J. Edgar Hoover was alive, remember he formed the FBI. I actually ask you to go watch J. Edgar. I think it's called J. Edgar. Leonardo DiCaprio plays him. It's a great movie. It was a movie about in like the, let's just put it when, who is that guy that flew across the ocean? What's his name? I forget it, and then his son died. It all began around that time. But the socialists were trying to take over. They were actually bombing places in the States. They had their own like media mills, and he had to destroy them all, and that's where the FBI was formed because of these socialists. And now these socialists are run rampant. They are everywhere. This is what it's come to. Communism has taken over. So the mind, what kind of mind do you have to, and so I ask you to do this. Look at the list of the people voting. So on the left, far left, let's just call it, there's only one left now. How much money do they make? How much money do all these people have? Do you notice that all the people in power in the world right now, they all have more than $1 million? And look up Congress. Most people have like above like 10 million. You really want these people speaking for you? So this is the mind that they have. That to keep the money flowing and the wars going, right? This is so deep. And I know God has to be behind this somehow, punishing. It may or may not be, but because of the rebellion that people are in, dropping God. But think of the mind, I know I've said this many times, that you would have to say, I want to sway the votes to go away from Trump to us because we know he's going to crush us. So what we're going to do is the people that we claim to like and are trying to help, we're going to overflow their cities with illegal migrants. Who are these illegal migrants? I was watching Valuetainment, of which, there's, most of the stuff on there is true. That's one I like to watch. But like I try to stay away from some news, but I tend to watch some of that. And Patrick Bet-David said that he knows a billionaire friend that, and we know this is true now, that he was from Venezuela and he's a self-made billionaire. And he said, I know for certain that the people passing through the border are 60% criminals. At that point, it wasn't verified, but it's verified within these own countries now, Venezuela, whatever, Cuba, all the places, Honduras. Do you know what they're doing? You know how costly it is to, like say in Canada or the States, to have prison systems, how much you have to pay? Like psych wards, all those type of stuff. So what do? They're emptying out all their psych wards, criminal psych wards, and prisons, and sending them up here. These people are mostly men. They say military age men. They're just men. Younger. Not a lot of women. At the border, they say 60% of women get raped. And I remember earlier it said that on the United States side, the people who were at the border were given rape kits to give to the women as they entered. Just think about the evil. And you wonder why an eclipse is going to start at Eagle Pass? So they're so evil that they'll bring these people in. They know what's coming through. Maybe not every politician, but who do you think's going to come through? And there's a lot of Chinese, and they're in separate camps. Sure, there's Chinese coming for other reasons because of the one-child policy that they had. That there's 40 million more males than there are females in China, so certainly people are coming, and for a better life. But they're so evil that they want votes that much. These illegals are coming in and they're taking the places of homeless people, veterans. Homeless people, veterans. Not only that, but now they're giving them green cards to vote. This is what they're doing. So who do you say, well, maybe they won't even vote for the Democrats anyways. And you wonder, a lot of people say they're not going to vote at all. I beg to differ. Why? Because they don't want to have to leave the States. And they'll get the vote because they're going to say, they're going to know if Donald Trump is in power, he'll kick them out. Which they should. You should remember, it's legal, illegal. What's the law is the law. You can't let this happen in a country. This is how it's going to take you down. All these cities are starting to fall. like hundreds of companies are leaving major cities. New York City is basically moving to Florida. All these things from COVID, all the buildings, the rent, they're going to default. Oh, you don't have to return to your buildings. No, this is all the plan of the Democrats. You want to call that them? That's not what they are. They're socialists. They're willing to take stuff from you to get a vote, to overflow you with migrants. They don't care what happens to you. They could be kicking your head on the ground. They could be molesting your daughter. They just want the vote so they can keep the money flowing. And so, does it make me mad to see this? Is this happening in Canada? In a sense, yes, also, but in a different way. You should see the laws that are being passed here. We could go to jail for lifetime for speaking out against LGBTQ. A lifetime. That's what the bill is going to be passed. It's either passed already or it's going to be passed. Bill 367 or something like that. Anyways, that's coming up in a video I'm doing, but the thing that troubles me the most, what I see now, I'm a believer, and I believe this is the end. We're coming towards the end. Pardon me, I have to pace. I have a lot of pain. I have difficulty speaking too if you haven't seen this. Here's what troubles me most. So, you see the people absolutely, there's 170,000 illegal like out on the street or in hotels and like places like New York City, Chicago. People are starting to stand up. People are starting to do private protests, gathering people in their thousands or whatever. You know what makes me angry? I'm going to make a video on this later. You hear people yap, 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 yap. Sorry, but that's what they're doing. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, like the names go on and on and on, including a lot of Christian YouTubers, very popular ones. And listen, I'm not saying what they're saying is bad, they're spreading a message. But I started to look at how much money they make, and I started to see like 10 million, 5 million. I'm like, Ben Shapiro, all of these people, all this truth movement, they're all rich, so why would they do something? Anyways, I'm not judging them. I'm saying all I'm hearing is this. All I'm hearing is YouTube, whatever, TikTok. But these people have the ability to interconnect with one another and do something about it, but they don't. They go, Jordan Peterson, all of them. They go from one place, they speak, they get paid. One place, they speak, they get paid. Podcast. What are they doing? They're not doing anything. That's what I see. It's a, you say, Dave, well, why don't you go do something? I'm on here, aren't I? And you say, well, isn't that the same thing? No, because I can't go there and do anything. Anyways, I'm mostly have too much pain and all that stuff to do that type of thing. But if something comes around to where I am, where there's like a big protest or something, I will certainly go. I will certainly take place in something like that. Peaceful. But there are certainly times where things have to be changed. And this is why I say I believe there's a civil war coming to America. I see it happening. I've been watching politics for 25 years. You can see it ramping up. And you can see it getting to the point where people are private people. You don't see these big people doing anything because they don't want anything to happen to their money. That may, I don't know. Money speaks about everything. That's what I see. I don't want to say that, and I want to say that the common thread that I see through all the people who are just keep making videos and keep, they may meet with one another and have, but when they have these things, these, podcasts, and they speak with each other, let's just say like Patrick Bet-David, he's pretty good. He has like he'll have a whole panel and do all that stuff, but it's, in that they're making money. How about not making money about something and going out and so what troubles me the most is I don't see people standing up, right? Because that's what men do. That's what real men do. And I mean, obviously peaceful. I can't see, there's a reason why I put my faith in God. I put my faith in God. Is there anything I can do about this? Is it right to do something about this, or just let things happen because I'm Christian and because I believe that God is, everything's going to come down that way. I'll just do that. I don't think it's that way. I think God actually wants us to stand up. So they say Christians are too tolerant. Listen, we have the right to speak up too and say things. There are certainly times where you have to do something. So you're going to say, okay, well, I don't have kids, okay? So I have no part in that say. But I certainly have my opinion that if my child was being taught some pedophilia book in school, I would certainly go and say something either in a parent meeting or to the board or whatever, something like that. You get my point. There are times where you have to do something. They're trying to kill you in with the border. It's going to get worse. It's wide open. Why don't you guys close it? I just hear a lot of talking and a lot of inaction and nothing being done. So that's what I have to say. This like gets my spirit like what do you like? Why aren't you guys doing anything? Like, you have no idea what's going to happen to you if you don't do anything. You have to take those two things and balance them. God bless.